Well. Everything seems to go down on a Monday, and MCC News is obviously there to cover a lot of the stuff that's happening within Marvel Contest of Champions. And there's a few other kind of little random stories that are kind of creeping their way in, but mainly it is all focused on the Cyber Monday offers. So let's start off with the lead story, and that is that Cyber Monday general consensus is these offers aren't brilliant, and obviously they have added the limit increases to certain things, so it does mean that it's a little bit better, but it hasn't been a brilliant kind of offer that's been run for a Cyber Monday. I have covered an extensive kind of dissection and exposure of these offers in a video, which link is in the description. I offer my take and opinion on it. But mainly the consensus is that it's not great, and a thread has been merged together, which is gaining a substantial amount of traction. I think there's like the most I've seen so far for one thing in a very short space of time. So these deals have, you know, just recently gone live, and it does mean that a lot of people aren't exactly happy. There's a lot of people kind of noting that it's not great. It should be a generic gem with regards to the Odin, and a lot of, you know, again, just an incredible amount of traction. We've got so many kind of fresh kind of opinions. This is just like going insane, which I did not expect that people were so passionate about this, but it is logical based on the fact that people were looking for a bargain and they didn't get that when it came to this deal. And one big point that seems to be coming from it is tier 1 alphas are just non-existent, which is kind of ridiculous because tier 1 alphas seem to be, you know, a lot more need to be given to you in order to get 5 stars up further. People's thought processes are that they may be more inclined to wait until the end of the year and see for class specific deals like they did last year, which you get a class specific awakening gem. And this might be something that I'm kind of like changing my thought process around. I haven't bought the deal yet, but my thought process are to go for the Odin for the crystal, but the chances of getting what you want are slim to nil. So that could be something that could leave me incredibly salty, but a decision I need to make obviously within the 24 hours. There's some excellent points in this post, and I strongly recommend going over to the forum and kind of letting know your thoughts. This kind of great section about like Kabam being very out of touch with what players really need. And I think that's the thing, that Kabam need to do a poll and just say, look, what do you lack at a certain rating level within the game with regards to resource? And a lot of people will say certain things. A lot of people at the start of the game will say something like 4-star shards and maybe things that are going to be of benefit to them to kind of progress their roster. Likewise, when it comes to people that are kind of mid to end rated players, you're going to get people say like, we need a lot more gold, we need a lot more tier 1 alphas. And also when you get to the extremes, the Labyrinth of Legends completers, the kind of the end gamers, the people that are in the top alliances, they will say the tier 2 alphas. So a lot of people will say different things with what they need, but it really falls on Kabam to kind of really keep in touch with what their player base really need. But the big point being $500 or £500 or 500, whatever it is in your denomination, is meaning that there's a bit of a sour taste in people's mouth, especially if you consider what you could get from that in other games compared to what we get here. And the inconsistencies are meaning that a lot of players are kind of going like, well, I would buy if it was better and if the state of affairs with the game are better. There's a lot of different opinions there, so I think just go over to the forum and have a look at the various opinions of people in that post. Our second story is Valor. I didn't think this would rear its head again, but a lot of people are still experiencing triggering Valor quests, which is then meaning that bounty missions are not being completed by alliances. And it's not really something that is particularly fair for anybody in the game. A lot of people are really pissed about this. Command Mike issued a statement and said that the compensation had gone out to the relevant people. There are a lot of people that were not relevant but still felt that they needed the compensation. And a lot of players were then encouraged that if it's a case that they didn't get the answer they wanted to go over to the support in order to kind of trigger a ticket in order to raise it. But that being said, a lot of people are still experiencing the same issues again and again, and this is such a fresh post that I thought that this would have been done about 2 to 3 weeks ago and is still ongoing. And if you've experienced any issues with regards to Valor, make sure that you put this in the forum post that you've experienced an issue and also raise a ticket as requested. And if you've got no answer from that, then you need to start raising a new forum post, because it's been very disappointing if you haven't been listened to using 2 different methods which you're instructed to. Our next story is a post that I didn't get much traction to begin with, but it's one that I saw and I quite like the discussion point on it, and it's something that I really consider a lot of people should come and put their kind of say when it comes to the points that are raised. So this post is called Champions in the Wrong Class, and it's by Cordanas, and it's a very interesting post which talks about different champions that should be kind of put into what he believes to be the correct kind of placement. So he's talking about Falcon, Ant-Man, Yellow Jacket, Loki, Hela, Blade, Moon Knight, Thor Ragnarok, Scarlet Witch, Karnak, Star-Lord and Yondu. And basically he talks about the correct classes based on, say, comic book source material and the way it should fit. So in this post he talks about the idea that Falcon, even though he's skill, should be tech, and the same thing applies for, obviously you could say, with Star-Lord, and the kind of comparison that yes, okay, so he wears things with regards to like technological advancements, but then going on to say things with regards to, right, well, Ant-Man uses a suit, so therefore he should be tech, and obviously the same thing for Yellow Jacket. If you followed the channel quite, you know, to a point, you will know that I did a video where we talked about stuff that was brought from MCC Mod's video, where he saw an Ant-Man that was a tech Ant-Man. And I think that's, again, goes back to the argument that the usage of certain things, whether the PIM particles, would then refer these both champions to be, yes, more of a science line than it would be a tech line. But obviously that's a discussion out for everybody else. He says about Loki, about it instead of being mystic to be cosmic. Yes, I do agree that that could be a very good point with regards to that. But, and then the same thing could be applied that his mother, who had kind of attachment to mystical powers, then taught Loki about using them, was then the catalyst for then that champion to then be turned into mystic. But the biggest problem is, and something we'll kind of touch on in a moment with regards to, should these champions then be a kind of by class type class similar to Karnak? And we'll get on to that in a moment. Hela, on the other hand, being a mystic, yes, would be a better fit based on mystical powers, but they've made her more of a cosmic based on her more kind of like a fighting skill side of things. Blade being skill instead being mystic. This is another argument that we had, that if I'm happy whether he's A or B, that's absolutely fine by me. I could see the mystic kind of idea with it, but he basically, from having a vampiric bite, you could say that he has been mutated. But again, that's another argument. Either way, Blade being skill, I'm absolutely fine with. With regards to Moon Knight being a mystic, yes, unfortunately within the game they don't give him any mystical powers, so therefore the kind of logic there is that he shouldn't have any mystical powers. Yes, you could do something with regards to source material and maybe powers that he touches into, but in game they've made him very skill based. Thor Ragnarok, yes, being cosmic, yes, I do believe that should be a good fit, that he should be a cosmic instead of a skill. Again, I think in the game they just wanted him to be made very skill orientated with regards to fighting or gladiatorial. Scarlet Witch, I don't know, I'm pretty happy with her being a mystic over a mutant. Yes, you could say that's a mutant based thing, but the cosmic powers I think came from there's something to do with an old woman. There's something to do with like her upbringing. This old woman had mystical powers, and then kind of like there's something about it transferring onto her. So yes, I'm pretty happy with that being a mystic. But that's, you know, if you want to look at like source material for her, then if you search RichTheMan Scarlet Witch, you'll find a comic book history kind of thing to cover that. I can't remember, but I know that there was mystical powers transferred. Karnak skill in human should be cosmic. There's other things with that, in that he didn't get a full Terror Genocide. Is it Terror Genocide Mist? It's the I can't remember what the name of it is, but there wasn't a full transference, so he still retains like skill elements. So I think that's I'm pretty happy with that being a skill / cosmic. Is actually very clever, and it's what I think that there should be something with regards to Loki and cosmic / mystic, and you use two of the kind of catalysts there. Star-Lord, tech. Yeah, again, argument between it being Falcon, skill, or then transferable to it being tech based on tech usage. And there's ways of kind of bastardizing this. Yondu, tech, and the same thing could really be said by Nebula, but Nebula's more kind of technical advancements based on, there's not much left of her kind of like anatomy from a whatever cosmic being she was. And yes, you could say that Yondu should be a cosmic based on minor tech enhancements, but the same thing again could be said for people like Rocket. Rocket's had technical advancements, but he still retains a good amount of his cosmic being. There's a lot of arguments there. I don't think there should be hate towards this. I do think there's kind of good point for opinion. So yeah, put a suggestion or kind of like what you think with regards to this in the forum post, and also maybe in the comments as well. Have a little bit of a kind of talk about it. Let's talk about blocking, or lack thereof, and that's something with regards to an ongoing issue, something that I've experienced today. And this is an incredibly fresh post, and I didn't think this was so much of an issue, and it's a bit of a problem because I have found that a lot of my blocks aren't being consistent, so we're not hitting too well. So like the shots coming in, and it's like I'm blocking, like I got my finger down on the screen, I'm kind of like I'm hammering it. It's just like, and it's like I'm either not triggering off a parry based on that, or it's basically that I'm not, you know, I'm being hit, and it's just like, what the heck is going on? And it ain't good. And obviously Gaban Wolf responds back to this post saying that, hey folks, the team is currently working on the issue with dropped and missed blocks, so we'll hopefully have that taken care of in a patch soon. Thanks for your patience on this. So thank God that it's been noticed, because it is a pain in the butt, and it is something that I'm experiencing, so I'm sure that a lot of players are experiencing as well. So that's been MCC News. If you enjoyed today's video, then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content. Make sure to go over to the forum posts and kind of have your say on things. It's disappointing to see the Cyber Monday offers aren't great. Obviously watch the video that I did about Cyber Monday offers, and give your opinions on the Cyber Monday offers in general. Are you happy about them? Not so happy about them? Let rip in the comments below. I've been RichTheMan, and I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye bye for now.